And 3, 2, 1. Right, welcome to a live lesson with my wonderful students here. We can look at how we draw some angles. So let's get straight into it. First of all, guys, when we draw an angle, you're going to be given an angle to draw, aren't you? So they're going to say, draw this angle, aren't they? So let's say they want us to draw, which is a fairly common, a 30-degree angle. Okay? And we usually get a line. It is an acute. If you're sitting there thinking that's an acute angle, well done. So we usually get a line to start off with, right? And then we've got to draw a 30-degree angle out of that. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to get you to do it. Okay, so you've got to watch. There's my line to start off with, but now I've got to make it 30 degrees, okay? So I've got to go and get my protractor. Right, over there. All the sheets are over there, mate, if you're looking for them. Okay, here it is. Alright. And I've got to, yes, what is it? So we've got our protractor. We've got to move it onto the line. Well, we've really got to move it onto this little bit here, guys. See, not there. Well, we could, but it's usually simpler to move it to the end. So we put our target right on the end. You don't need to do this yet. You can just watch me. See how I put the target right on the end? See? Do 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 do. Locked on. Okay? Now we're going to draw a 30-degree angle. Okay? 30-degree angle. Here it is. Now, that means that we've got to start at the 0 and count up to 30. A lot of people might start at the 180 for some reason. Don't start at the 180. Don't start over here. Start over here at the 0, please, and count up to 30. Okay, so we find the 0, 10, 10's there, 20, and 30. You see I put a little dot there next to the 30? That's really important. Then I can rule a line. So just let me move this away. Oh, I might just move this away if that's right now. I'll move that away. And now, all I'm going to do is watch in. You're watching at the front. Now I'm going to just join the end of this line, right, to that dot. And that in there should be 30 degrees. Has that made sense to you? I'm going to give you some work to do. I'm going to check it. In person on the video, you can actually have a go as well. Do you want to look at that any longer, or is that? Can I move? Can I change pages? I want you to do one now. Look, I'm going to give you one to do. Here you go. It's going to be 40 degrees, right? So you're going to need to rule a line, right? 40 degrees. Okay. You can start at either end of this line. Okay, and have a go at doing a 40-degree angle. I'll just press pause on the recording. Alright, so now we're going to see how we went. And I had a young lady ask a very pertinent question. She goes, Mr. Burns, you said you've got to start at the 0, but there's a 0 on both sides, right? So I'm realising I haven't taught that well enough. So look, let's put our targeting bit on the end there, okay? And the question our young lady had is, Mr. Burns, why would we not start at this 0, right? Why must we start at this 0? Because they're both zeros, right? Aren't they? Well, I sort of hope that we know a couple of things. Because it's 40 degrees, is it going to be an acute angle or an obtuse angle? It's going to be a little acute one, isn't it? Acute. Okay? Right? It's going to be an acute angle. Right? So if we started over here and counted up, right? If we started over here, we'd go, well, 0, 10, 20, 30, right? And if we ruled from, say, this red dot down to here, right? It's going to be a giant big fat angle, isn't it? So that's obviously the wrong 0 to start at. Yeah, so what if we moved it? So what if we moved the whole protractor over there? Yeah, then that would be the 30 would go to. You can do both, but you're right, it does depend on what side you put the protractor on. And that's why I've spent so long teaching you about acute and obtuse angles, so you've got an idea of what the angle should look like. In fact, let's measure it from here. I don't have a problem measuring it from here. I put the target there, count up to 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. There you go. Now I'll just move this if that's alright. And we'll join a line from there to there. And is that what you guys did? Yeah, I think so. Right, you know what? I actually think that you might be sort of ready. Can you check each other's and see if it's 40 degrees for me? I'll come back in a moment. Right, final challenge, thank you. We're going on to a new page, and this one, we've done acute, haven't we? It's time to go big. It's time to go obtuse. We're going to do an obtuse one, which is, of course, over 90 degrees. And I want you to do one that is 100 degrees for me. So, draw yourself your starting line. And remember, of course, it's going to be 100 degrees, so it's going to be a bit fat, isn't it? It's going to be one of the fatter angles. All right, so have a go at that. I'll just press pause and wait for you guys. But I think I might help out a little bit too, just because Natanya asked a great question. All right, you're going to need to put your protractor on the end. And of course, you're going to need to work out which 100 you count up to. Is it going to be one that makes an obtuse angle or an acute angle? And it's going to be one that makes an obtuse angle. So work out whether you're going to count up from this 0 here or from that 0 there. And I'll give you a serious hint. It's going to be from this 0 over here. Have a go, guys. Work it out yourself. Alright, so let's see how we went. So you know it's an obtuse angle. Alright, so you had to select the 100 that was going to make it over 90 degrees, like, you know, a big fat angle. Alright. So usually, I mean, a good idea, Natanya, as well, I mean, seems so obvious to say now. You start at the 0 that's actually on the line as well, and not the one that's not on the line. See, this one over here is not on the line, but this one over here is, so that's something else to think about as well. Alright, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Alright, so there it is, good. And I'll just move that off, if that's, oh, got a bit big, didn't it? I'll move that away, and now join from here to there. There you go, there's my 100 degrees. Well done, Mr. Burns, great work. Put up your hand if you got that right, girls. Why don't you measure it and have a go?